If you've ever participated in a theatre play, and it was perchance your first play, then the odds are very, very good that you didn't really have that big of a role. You probably had a very minuscule role.
I'm talking a servant getting on stage and telling the king that the guests have arrived minuscule. It is very likely that you will have spent most of the play's duration behind the stage, waiting for your cue. You might have been nervous to get your 3 or 4 words right and to stand on the right spot while you delivered them. Afterwards, you were relieved to have done as well as you did and probably went backstage. But before and after your minuscule role, you were probably just wasting time. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead is a play that was adapted into a movie in 1990, and it feels exactly like that. It is about 2 prolific small roles in one of William Shakespeare's most popular plays, gentle Rosencrantz and well-mannered Guildenstern, childhood friends of Hamlet's. What do they do in the play again? Well, they have a quick chat with Hamlet and also the occasional word with other characters, but most famously, Claudius wants to send Hamlet to England after Hamlet accidentally killed his love interest's father. In England, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are then instructed to give a letter to the king. Said letter orders the execution of Hamlet. Hamlet catches wind of this and switches the letter with one that he has written, stating that actually Rosencrantz and Guildenstern should be executed. And so they are killed. Off-screen or rather off-stage. Honestly, someone should make a Looney Tunes version of Hamlet with Elmer Fudd as the King of England, Duffy and someone else as Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, and Bugs as Hamlet. And then they go, yeah, Guildenstern and Rosencrantz season. No, Hamlet season. And so on. But I digress. So, what exactly happens in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead? Besides our main characters getting executed and then being dead. Well, our main characters get roped into the play at the very beginning by a group of travelling actors, and more importantly, our main protagonists are trying to A. figure out what exactly is going on, and B. pass the time until something happens that could explain A. They sort of get it by the end, because the thespians from the start come back, but it's too late by then, and the play has to run its course. And they have to get executed because, well, they have to. Because it's in the script. In that way, it obviously is nothing like having a small role in a play. Because you, in theory, always have the option to just leave and not do your bid. Sure, that would annoy a few people, but in the end, it is just a play, and you are just an actor. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern in the narrative are, however, the characters, not the actors. Of course, actors portray them nonetheless, but in the meta-narrative of them taking the proverbial piss outside the scenes, they are the characters, and they are bound to the events of the play. They are trapped and doomed to die, only for them to get through the entire ordeal yet again at another performance. What makes this movie and the play absurdly funny and not depressingly miserable, in spite of the subject matter, is watching these two just passing the time and coming up with impromptu inventions that they don't quite get themselves, or doing experiments that they don't quite understand themselves, just like they are participating in a play that, yet again, they don't quite get. They get aspects of it, but they don't understand their role in it until it is fulfilled and, as I already said, ready to be fulfilled again in the next performance. I myself am part of a local theatre group, and we recently did 2 performances of Julius Caesar, a play we've done a dozen or so times over the last 2.5 years that I've been part of the group. I started out with about 2.5 very small roles. A cobbler, one of the carriers of Caesar's dead body, as well as an outraged Roman citizen at the end of the play. I must admit, I had not bothered reading the full play beyond my 3 to 4 lines of dialogue, and so my experience somewhat mirrors Rosencrantz and Guildenstern's experience of Hamlet. I got a promotion, so to speak, to the role of Marillus as well as Decius Brutus. Now, the play started to make sense, but I still went and watched the Marlon Brando version just to get the full picture. And it did pay off, as I got some praise from an audience member for a scene in which I convinced Caesar to ignore his wife's bad dreams and to come with me to the Senate House. I am, after all, in that scenario, an actor, even if I am just an amateur actor. I learned that it pays to know the full play, even if you're not in all of it. Neither Rosencrantz nor Guildenstern ever get this luxury. They have to wait for things to happen, and when they do, their autonomy is severely limited to steer them towards the end of the play, where their offstage deaths are already waiting for them. Speaking of unavoidable theatrical deaths, this is the perfect time for me to talk about today's sponsor, who isn't paying me. BetterRetractableKnives.com. The true story: during my latest performance of Julius Caesar, I accidentally broke the tip of my retractable toy knife while stabbing good old Julius. This could have been avoided had I bought a retractable knife from BetterRetractableKnives.com. BetterRetractableKnives.com started as a small Halloween store in rural Dimsville, Tennessee, back in 1967. After a while, they managed to expand into other states and even had their product make appearances on screen.
Disclaimer: the knife shown in this scene of 1990's Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead is not one such appearance. In fact, neither this company nor the town of Dimsville actually exist. Our researchers are still out on whether or not Tennessee actually exists.
So go on and head over to BetterRetractableKnives.com to get your first trial package of 55 retractable toy knives for only $9.99, or 555 retractable toy knives for $99.99, payable in 9 payments of $11.11. No broken tips, no stuck springs, just theatrical deaths. BetterRetractableKnives.com.
But back to unavoidable theatrical deaths. Well, this is the fate of any and all characters in plays and movies and stories and whatever other narratives contain death. It will happen again and again and again. It doesn't matter if it's Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, Ophelia, Mufasa, Tony Stark, Leslie Burke, Darth Vader, or Radio Raheem. They are destined to die because the script says so.
For the rest, as someone once told me, is silence.